Leviticus 11 and 14. Prosperity and adversity, life and death. Poverty and riches come of the Lord. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. Deuteronomy 28. So Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 47. It says, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Okay? And that goes for our enemies. Alright? If you need anything, they set it up where you have to go either to the so-called white man or go to these other nations which got grants and patents from the so-called white man to set up their liquor stores, Chinese restaurants, laundromats, or any business, and they systematically set it up in an area where you Negros, Latinos, and Native Americans populate so that they can make money off of you. Okay, because you are the largest consumers amongst the nations here in the United States. Okay, you niggas consume a lot, so these nations just make money off of you. Alright, this is Lamentations 5 and 4. It says, we have drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us. Okay, you got to pay a water bill. Okay, because we're subject to payments. Even though water should be free, the Heavenly Father makes it rain. Okay, but this man charges for water. We have drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us. Our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest. We have given the hand to the Egyptians, which is so-called white man. Okay, because this place is spiritually Egypt. Okay. Alright. So the so-called white man in this place is oppressing us just like the ancient Egyptians oppressed our forefathers. And to the Assyrians to be satisfied with bread. And this place is also known spiritually as Assyria, because they carry on the customs of the Assyrians. Okay? So, that's plain, man. We'll have to go to the so-called white man and these other nations to eat. And really, when we go to these other nations, for one of all things, we actually go into the so-called white man, because they got their authority to set up their shops and stuff from the so-called white man. Okay? So you can't get around that. Alright, and so-called white men are the Edomites according to the Bible, which are not children of God. Okay? Alright, this is Jeremiah 5 and 19. It says, and it shall come to pass when ye shall say, wherefore doeth the Lord our power all these things unto us, then shalt thou answer them, like as ye have forsaken me, and served strange gods in your land, so shall ye serve strangers in a land that is not yours. And though Native Americans might say, well, this is our land, it's not our land anymore. It was stolen. Okay, it was taken from our fathers. Okay, the so-called white man stole this land from the Native Americans, the so-called Seminole Indians, and the so-called Mexicans. Okay, because they had a portion of land in the West, California, Texas, Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona. Okay, that belonged to the so-called Mexicans. Alright, which are Israelites too. Okay, so now we serving strangers in a land that's not ours. It's not ours anymore. And why should we even want it back anymore? Because this damn devil, he done polluted it with so much blood and toxic waste and all types of shit, man. Okay? Fucking devil, man. But that's alright. The Lord gonna pay him back, man. So, don't get all bent out of shape, but just know the Lord gonna destroy his ass. This is Deuteronomy 28:29. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Okay? The only person that's going to save us from under this hell that we in is who you're called Jesus Christ, which his name in the Hebrew is Yahushua. Okay? The Yah at the beginning meaning he, Yahushua means deliverer. He's going to save us. Okay? Save the elect. Alright, 2/3 of y'all niggas gonna die in here. Okay? Deuteronomy 28:33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt only be oppressed and crushed always, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. And that's why our people be upset. That's why you had in Chicago, you had workers, mainly our people, protesting for higher wages. Okay, you had walkouts up there in New York. Okay, on Martin Luther King Day. All right, back in January. Okay, because they was getting paid low wages. They getting paid $7.25 working at McDonald's, where it costs hella expensive up there to live up there in New York. Okay, and they want $15 an hour. Okay, but they ain't gonna get that. Alright, so that's why our people are mad, man. Okay, Psalms, it's a lot. Psalms 104, 106 and 40. It says, therefore was the wrath of the Lord kindled against his people, and so much that he abhorred his own inheritance. And he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hate them rule over them. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand. And that's plain, man. Lamentations 5 and 8. I haven't read it already. I don't think so. It's a lot. Lamentations 5 and 8. It says, servants have ruled over us. There is none that doeth deliver us out of their hands. Okay? Because technically, the so-called white man and these other nations, they are our servants. Okay? But because we sin and transgress the laws, the Lord flipped it where he put up these nations that's supposed to serve us. He put them up as chief, and he put us on the bottom, and now we serving them. But the Lord's going to flip it. But for right now, because we're under the curses, these heathens rule over us, man. And no one deliver us from under their hand. Okay? Fulfilling prophecy. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. It says, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Okay? So it was prophesied that we was going to be scattered amongst the nations. Okay? And that goes back to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 16, where it says, cursed shalt thou be in the field. The field is the world. Jeremiah 24 and 9. And I will deliver them to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth for their hurt, to be a reproach and a proverb, a taunt and a curse, and all places whither I shall drive them. And I will send the sword, the famine, and the pestilence among them, till they be consumed from off the land that I gave unto them and to their fathers. And that's what happened. Baruch 2 and 12. It's a lot. It says, O Lord our God, we have sinned, we have done ungodly, we have dealt unrighteously in all thine ordinances. Let thy wrath turn from us, for we are but a few left among the heathen, where thou hast scattered us. Okay, Baruch 2 and 28. As thou spake by thy servant Moses in the day when thou didst commanded him to write the law, before thy law before the children of Israel, saying, if ye will not hear my voice, surely this great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them. For I know that they will not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. Okay, and that's what's happening. We're remembering that we're Israelites through the mercy of Yahweh B'Shem Shai, by setting up the men of the Lord to teach his people who they are. Okay, giving us this truth back again. Alright? And that's a beautiful thing. This is Luke 21 and 23. Well, I started at 24. It says, I started at 23. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. The Lord was talking about the Israelites. His people, you Negros, Latinos, and Native Americans. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem, which is a people before a place, shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, the heathens. This right here is talking about the natural heathens. Alright, everybody outside of us, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled, which we close to the end of that. Alright, when America